Welcome. Thank you for joining. This is Tammy DeCaro, and this is the Create Monthly Club download. So you're seeing this video because you downloaded the consistency guide, or you want the consistency guide and you're watching the video. It's super important when you're testing paint consistency to use the same size spoon or item to get the paint on the page. One of the things that I see a lot is when people are testing paint consistency, they will drip the paint off of their stick, which is a good way to do it when you're mixing. You see how there's a trace and then it disappears. This is a fairly thick mixture, but if I hold my stick really high above the cup like I just did there, you're not really getting an accurate picture of the consistency. So make sure you're only holding your spoon or your stick 1 inch above. Then I use the same size spoon. These are tasting spoons I get off of Amazon, and I'll link that in the description. They're plastic, so they're easy to wipe off and reuse. But I find it's really important to put the same amount of paint on each bubble of your consistency guide, because that can also throw you off in terms of testing consistency. So I'm just doing 3 colors. These are actually colors that will be featured in my first Create Monthly Club subscription box, but there are additional colors that go with this color palette. And now I'm testing the white. I print these consistency guides and keep them once the paint is dry, labeled with what I painted that day, with that palette and the date, so that if I have to come back later at some point and say, what paint did I use for this piece, or what color did I use, I have it. And I'll show you at the end how I do that. You can also put this consistency guide in a page protector and just wipe it off each time. And that's a good way to do it. So here's 3 paints. They have a good amount of similarity in their paint consistency, and I would consider that a win for mixing. Though, what often happens with paint is sometimes it looks good in the cup, but it's really not. That white is just a little slower than the other 2. I wouldn't have to fix this normally. I'm just showing you another comparison. I think those 3 are close enough. So I'm showing you another comparison here of getting those a little bit closer together in paint consistency. And this time I will compare just the white and the turquoise, since turquoise was almost the same as the Payne's Gray. So I'm just wiping off my spoon. That's important as well, because you don't want the previous paint to be coming off and messing up your consistency. So here is the white, and I'll use one of the other paints, the turquoise, just to compare the white paint to it. And again, wipe off your spoon in between. I wash those spoons and use them over and over and over again. Okay, so I got this one a little out of the frame, but you can see there where that white is a lot closer to the turquoise in consistency. And this is one of the things I'm teaching in the Create Monthly Club, that, consistency is number 1. Make sure your consistency is good. And chemistry, what are you mixing in your paint, is the second component. And composition. Those are the 3 C's, I call them, to fluid art. And that's one of the fundamentals of what I'll be teaching in the Create Monthly Club subscription box. Okay, so here is a final comparison. I thinned down that white a lot just to show you what it looks like when things are not good with your consistency. You see how much faster that white travels on this consistency chart than the turquoise. So that is a very off consistency right there when you have that much of a difference between those 2 paints. The other paints on there are very close and they're fine. I would move forward with any of those, but that far right white color is way too thin to work with that turquoise. On the top left of your consistency guide is the QR code for this video in case you need it in the future. And of course, always you're welcome to tag me, email me, any questions that you might have, and make sure that you are on the wait list for the Create Monthly box as soon as it is ready to announce and take orders. There's a limited number for this first box run, and they'll go very fast. That should be at the end of August. The Create Monthly program is a monthly box of art supplies. The paint, brands, and palette vary, and each month there's a new technique. So it's a great way for you to learn multiple techniques in a short period of time, and I show you 4 different ways to paint it. This is our September box featuring the blues and greens and Payne's Gray and Champagne, and there will be 2 canvases. And in the video tutorials, I do show you 4 different ways to use those paints in different palettes. You have your ocean breezes and turquoises on the left and the top right, and then that bottom right is the Payne's Gray, Champagne, White, and a little bit of extra twist. So look for us over in createmonthlyclub.com. Thank you.